A very good evening and welcome to RPM Esports F1. We are on round 12 in the USA in Texas. I'm RPM Spritzy. I'm going to be your commentator tonight, and joining me in the comms booth with 9 cans of Stella is the GOAT of commentary, RPM Jones. Are you there, sir?
Good evening, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. How are you, buddy? All right?
Yeah, not too bad. Unfortunately, no cans of Stella though tonight.
Oh, you're not on the water still for the throat, are you?
Still on it, yeah. About 8 weeks now. So I probably shouldn't drink Stella when I'm on comms because it could end up very messy.
Oh no, I think we need to. I think we need to do one before the season's out. So anyway, mate, I hope you're feeling all right. How was your race last night? I've not had a chance to catch up with you properly, and unfortunately, we didn't have a stream last night. So apologies to all the First Division drivers last night. How was your race?
Well, I'll sum it up this way. I'm impressed that Brandon and Glassy have managed to get a car out of it tonight because it wasn't in a nice state when I left it.
Well, it's funny you should say that actually, because I did get an email this morning from Zach Brown saying that our bill has gone up significantly between Wednesday and Thursday nights. I didn't know what he meant because obviously I've not seen the stream, so I can only assume that you and Westy absolutely smashed the crap out of those cars last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think he'll be very happy with us, but quick turnaround from McLaren there.
Mate, there's always another week, mate. There's always another week. Don't worry about that. So we're in USA, round 12. I'm a bit rusty, I have to say, because I've been off the comms and you've kindly covered for me for the last few weeks due to work commitments. So thank you very much for that. We're going to have some interesting racing tonight because this track is renowned for... personally, I think there's 2 different tracks. You've got the fast straights on one sector, and then you've got the kind of S's and almost Suzuka style sector 1 on those left-right sweeping corners. So what kind of setup do you think the guys are going to go for?
Well, I think that's the tough thing, isn't it? Because obviously, like you said, it is like 2 different tracks. So some people are running higher wing and they're great in the first sector, but then they're really struggling on a straight. I know I took wing off because I was just hoping that I might be able to get some race pace and get some moves done in the DRS zones. But I think we're really going to see a mix tonight.
Yeah, I was watching the seniors from my hotel room crying into my Diet Coke, and I was seeing that Phil had definitely got more downforce, but really struggled on the straights. I think you were on comms, weren't you?
Yeah. He definitely did struggle. Yeah, me and Bakker covered that one, and yeah, you could see he was getting DRS on the guys in front. They didn't have it, and not managing to gain on them at all. So it is so important to have that straight line speed.
Yeah, so interestingly, with these guys, obviously this is Premier Division. This is the fastest of the fast. So, that's going to be interesting to see how many of them take the risk to lower the wings for the top line speed, or have that speed in Sector 1 and a little bit of Sector 2 to keep that downforce going. So, that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out tonight. And also, we've got quite a few reserves tonight as well. So we've got, just to run through from memory before we get into what's happening on quali. So we've got RPM Shaq reserving tonight. We've got Westy reserving tonight. Westy had a cracking run out last time in Miami as reserve. We've got the King Pin Quinn, aka Penguin, also reserving. And I think Quinn has done awesome in Premier Division on the times that he's reserved, obviously fueled by the motivation to beat his brother, which is normal. And then we've also got, have we got one more, or is that everybody? That looks like everybody. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody who is watching tonight, we have got the return of Evil Master. So that for the first time in quite a few weeks, he's putting in an appearance, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares. So getting into the quali, so we can see that some of the guys have set some laps. So I don't know if you want to give us a bit of an update, Jones, on who's on the lap and who we should be watching out for.
I mean, certainly just looking at the times, Brandon, we know he's still up there in the championship. Colin yet to set a lap, but that's important for him. Last 2 weeks, I don't know if you've been watching, but he
indeed.
has qualified at the back, I think, usually because he hasn't managed to get time in. So that's going to be really helpful for him today.
As Colin goes quickest with a 32.7, our championship leader, and we will cover the standings after the quali tonight. We'll do things in a bit of a different order. So we've got Brandon in second. Now, one of your favourite drivers in Premier Division, I've asked you about him before, he's sat in third place, is Maggot. That's a little bit of a surprise. Maggot's come in with a 34.0, so he's looking a bit sharp early doors tonight.
Absolutely, that's a very good time. I think the last time you asked me, I just sat on the fence for about half an hour and gave you no answer at all.
I wasn't going to mention that. I wasn't going to mention that. Although I have got a few questions prepared for tonight. Just for later, just to see
just a slight interrogation.
Yeah. Just a few cheeky little questions for later. Thank you for everybody that's joined in the chat. So we've got Ivor joining in the chat. Very good evening to you. We've got RSF1, medium wings, around 27.35, I think, for the rear wing. Sadly, I couldn't reserve. It was full. So Colin will go into the 32s on his first lap. So RSF1, I'm presuming, is Robin. So if that is you, please reveal yourself. If you can let us know in the chat if... myself and Jones, if the volume is correct, game volume, microphone volume, etc. Let us know in the chat and we'll be back there in a second. Couple of additions that we need to mention. So recent additions to RPM and also the Premier Division. So we've got joining Fretty, Fretty's not racing tonight, but joining Fretty in the Alpha Tauri for the last 4 rounds is RVL Volcano, very quick driver, joined in seniors initially because he couldn't race on a Thursday because he was finishing his season in PSGL, and he's now decided to finish the season in Premier Division. Really quick driver. And another driver to mention who is currently down in 19th position is Davey W. So, Jones, you can decide what W stands for, but we've got Davey W. Davey's another quick driver. I think he set last week. He was second in qualifying at Miami behind Colin. So, 2 drivers to look out for, really quick drivers.
I've got a prediction on the W for you.
Williams.
Wing. I think it's Wing. He's running more wing than everyone else. That's what I can conclude from this now.
Okay, so we've got Jones voting for Wing. I've gone for Williams. If we've got Andrew Cameron in the chat saying it stands for Wotherspoon. Do you mean Weatherspoon, or is it?
I was thinking Weatherspoon instantly, but that might just be a force of habit.
Yeah, don't mention Weatherspoons, or Jones will disappear and he'll be off for a cheap beer. So, yeah, it must be Wotherspoon, must be. But yeah, so but anyway, Davey's one to watch out for. Did really well last week. Luke's not set a time yet. We're on board with Luke at the minute. We've got 7 minutes remaining of quali. For anybody that's not tuned in before, you will get used to the fact that me and Jones generally talk a bit of rubbish through quality. And that's just how it goes.
Yeah, and struggle to keep up with anything going on.
Absolutely,
I don't know if you saw the comms with Backer and myself.
Maggot's out. Maggot's
out, yeah.
Oh, Brian. Brian's put a lap in. Hello, Brian. He's finally arrived. The last one in the lobby. He's popped one in third place, a 33.9. So... Brian's definitely here.
All the way to third there. Just over 3 temps separating them all.
I do need to clarify though, James, just one little thing is that in quali, when we have to look at these dots on the mini-map, I am colourblind. Yep. So that's why I rely on you and Backer so much, because I can't actually tell the different colours. and which team is which. I don't know if I've ever told you that before, but
No, it's news to me, but
yeah, I can't see.
I can't really keep up with it myself. I forget to look down there at times.
Well, when I look to see who's coming next, I see like a blue dot, and I think, well, is it blue or is it purple or is it kind of? And I think there's 3 teams. You've got Williams, Alpha Tauri, and Alpine that all could, and Red Bull that could all be that same dot. So,
it's really hard to tell the difference between them as well. Yeah.
So you heard it here first. Spritz is colourblind. Not only useless at racing, but also colourblind as well. Yeah. Oh, Luke's on a good lap here. Luke's on a good lap. He's putting one in as he comes at the end of Sector 2. Not going to get a comparison against previous because he's not set a lap yet. Just gets out of that corner, going through. I think this is now renamed Cosmo Corner. I caught this the other night. Yeah, Cosmo Corner, Cosmo S's. I mean, there's more corners on this track named after Cosmo than I can ever remember. As Luke comes through the final corner, he's just going to get it up, short shift to third. What's he going to put in? He goes up to 12th, so he'll be happy that he's got a lap in.
But if he finds 2 temps, he could be all the way up in 5th. That's how tight it is.
Very, very, very tight. What about what about your other teammate? Oh, he's going in. Glassy down in 11th. Little bit surprising. I think Glassy. Yeah, this is going to get really, really interesting.
And I've just noticed as well, behind Colin, look at those times for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, separated by less than a 10th, and Volcano and Brandon separated by 1,000th of a second. This is what I love about Premier Division. It's so close.
Got yellow in Sector 2, but that might be somebody letting somebody past. It's nice to see that we've got Sminotler back joining us tonight. So Sminotler has been out of RPM most of this season due to, I think, A-levels, if I remember correctly. So good to see him back. Sminotler's got some awesome pace. In previous seasons, Sminotler's give Colin a run for his money.
I do have some inside. Oh, Luke's had a little spin there. I do have some insider knowledge for you. I do believe Westy, Backer, and Entity are all in a party talking. It's not helping them at the moment.
Oh, right, I love it. If only we could tap into that party and bring it live to the stream.
Yeah, like the pit wall where they get Gunther Steiner off for a second. What's going on here?
Yeah, what's going on
here? Backer saying he's having a disaster.
And what would be great is if Backer does DNF in the first lap, which is highly likely, is if he joins us on comms, he can be Natalie Pinkham for us.
Absolutely. The glamorous assistant.
Brandon is in 5th, Jones. So a 33.7. I think he's coming out now. I don't know how much time we've got left because I'm blocked by the yellow. I don't know if have we had chance to look at the Taz tonight because the Taz is back up and running.
I haven't looked at it myself.
Let's have a quick look. So let's. It is back up and running and working. So we've got a dry quali and. No surprise in Texas, we've got a dry race, so thanks for that, Taz. So hopefully the Taz system will become more useful when we get into the race because we've got tyre wear and it looks like all of the guys have really helped us out tonight by setting their settings correctly. We've got most of the guys, I'm sure that we can pick them out later on.
Yeah, and I think it's all about to get interesting. I see Andrew's 3 temps up in the first sector there, but it looks like he's just made a little mistake at the end of that sector. But if he can hold that together, he could be potentially getting himself up to 3rd here.
Okay, well I'm relying on you, Dow Jones. I'll be the TV director on the camera. You just tell me where I've got to point the camera. So we've got we're on board with Andrew at the moment. That sunshine is absolutely...
I'm struggling to see anything here, to be honest. But then, if you watch me race, you'll realise that happens for 29 laps or so.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I've not been able to race for a little bit due to work commitments, but I think that might be my teammate Huss might be thanking me for that, to be honest.
And Andrew's half second down now, so he's not, unless he finds something mega special through here, he's not going to be moving himself
Who's
up.
Who's next? We've got a minute left, so we're going to have to go with the
crosses up into 6th. I think the ones to go on are Brandon or Colin here. That championship battle. Colin is matching his times at the moment, and Brandon is a 10th up through the first sector.
Yeah, we're on board with Brandon. So we've got Brandon. He's a little bit early in the lap. Brian stayed in the pits with that 33.4, so he's obviously happy with that. We've got Higgsy in third. We've not mentioned RPM Higgsy, so Higgsy in third place. That's a cracking lap from him. I know he's put a bit of practice in this week. So, and Volcano into 4th. So,
yeah, and Colin crosses the line, improves by a 10th and a half. So that is the benchmark.
Great lap.
Unbelievable. And Volcano spins, so Volcano isn't going to improve. I think I just saw Brandon go past him.
He did. We were on board with Brandon, and as Brandon comes through Cosmo Corner, and Brandon...
Oh, Glassy up to 4th as well, his teammate.
Oh, that's more like it, Glassy. That's more like it. Jones will be happy now. You'll hear another can opening in a minute. And Brandon goes up to 3rd, 2nd row. He'll be happy with that. It moves Higgsy down to 4th. Glassy
and Higgsy's invalidated.
Volcano. So we've got
Higgsy and Volcano can't
not
improve.
on a lap. Have we got anybody still on a lap? Andrew not on a lap. We've got Quinn. Oh, Quinn's beat his brother. There's going to be absolute mayhem in the Van der Melden household tonight. Let's hope that doesn't get the Hoover out and pull out both of the Ethernet cables.
Absolutely. We've got Giraffe coming to the end of his lap here, coming round the final corner. He was 3 attempts up. Let's see what he can do.
He's gone 11th.
And yeah, and look at all those people on the low 34s.
We've got Davey. We've got Davey on the lap. Davey's on a lap. Now, Davey hasn't particularly... He's not improved. He's improved, but he's only a few thousandths. But depending on what setup he's got, could he make it up in this 3rd sector? So Davey Weatherspoon is coming through Cosmo Corner now. He's coming into the last 2 corners, drops it to 5th, doesn't invalidate into the final corner, gets the apex up into 4th, short shift. Is he going to improve? He does, up to 10th. So Davey Weatherspoon makes it up to 10th. Great lap from him.
Yeah, and just another mention, Westy in that party has the bragging rights from 1st Division, and he's outperformed his party members, Backer and Entity there.
There's something strange going on there. There's definitely something strange going on there. Westy had an awesome run last week in Miami, so expecting big things from him tonight.
Yeah,
and I do believe quite well as well in 16th.
Yeah, and I think Westy got a podium last night with a damaged rear wing, which was incredible. So yeah, he has got good form around here.
So that's it. That's quali over. So in the meantime, while we're there, let's have a little look at the standings, Dr. Jones. So we will go to, first of all, the Premier Division standings. So we've got Colin leading the championship with 406 points. We've got Brandon in 2nd place, 19 points behind in the McLaren. Jetfish is in 3rd with 299 points. We've got Al in 4th with 236, so quite a gap between the top 3 and Al. We've got Higgsy, another big gap, 96 behind with 140. And Giraffe, Fretwell, Backer, Luke and Brent rounding out the top 10. So there's going to be a few battles there tonight. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, in the Premier Division, we've got Mercedes leading the Constructors' Championship, 535 points. But snapping at their heels, we've got Colin and Luke in the Ferrari. And still within striking distance, we've got the McLarens. So I think the bridge is a bit too far for the Aston Martins with 253. But certainly between McLaren, obviously Brandon and Glassy, Colin and Luke in the Ferraris, Jetfish and Al, that's going to be a bit fierce tonight. And last but no means least, we do run an all-tiers Constructors in RPM. So this is all the individual tiers of the 4 tiers added together. And we can see here that Ferrari are 100 points in the lead at the moment from Aston Martin. I've certainly not contributed to that with not being present and racing, so apologies to my Aston Martin teammates. And we've got McLaren in third. So again, I think we're going to see a little bit of a battle tonight between McLaren and Ferrari. Tonight, Aston Martin will be trying to, let's say, recover some of that gap. So we will see how that materialises. So we're on the formation lap. We've got to reset up the telemetry again. Any predictions from you, Jones?
Well, I was just going to ask the chat if they've got any predictions. Not, I'm going to say not involving Colin, because usually someone says Colin's going to win. So not involving Colin. My predictions. I think Davey will have a good race in 10th. I think he looked really quick at Miami last week. And I think he'll have. I mean, I say this, I'm probably going to ruin his race. You know how it goes when we do predictions or put the camera on them.
When we do predictions, it absolutely never happens. That's for sure. But yeah, I think. I mean, Brian's done a good quali, absolutely good quali. I mean, looking at the tyres, so we've got Colin starting on the hards. That's an interesting choice. We've got Brian starting on the hards and Brandon on the hards. So those three on the same strategy. Higgsy, first guy on the mediums, but then follow. Oh, we've got a spinner, James. We've got a spinner on the formation. We've got, we've got Higgsy, first guy on the mediums, but then he's followed by the next four drivers. So we've got Higgsy, Glassy, Volcano, and Jetfish also on the mediums. Then we've got Spinotler on the hards, following the same strategy as the other guys. And then we've got a couple of mediums in Al and Davey, Maggot on the hards, Giraffe on the hards, Andrew on the hards, Quinn going for the mediums, split strategy to his brother. I'm sure that they're shouting between the two rooms that they race in. Shaq mediums, Westy on the mediums, Backer on the mediums. Evil Master, didn't see Evil Master in quali, so he's gone under the radar a bit there, Jones, in quali. Evil Master's usually got amazing one-lap pace. We've got another spinner. We've got another spinner on the formation lap.
Yeah, you're right. Evil Master usually does have good pace in quali. Not sure who's spun. We might be needing to rename some of these corners and straights. Oh, and Evil Master spins at Cosmo Corners.
Cosmo Corners has captured Evil Master. And we've got Smith joining us in the chat. Good evening, good luck to Aston. So, yeah, I echo that. They're certainly, one of them is certainly up in contention anyway. As
we've got some disqualifications, so they're going to have cold tyres.
Al can't park a car. Maggot can't park a car. Uh-oh. Right, let's see what view we can get, folks.
Yeah, no, I think from seniors, me and Backer were really struggling with this one. Oh, an entity disqualified.
So we'll try and get a good view as the lights are going to come on in a moment. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and Jones.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, we got that off to perfection. Right, we're on board with. Here we go. Great one from Higgsy. So Colin is away. Brandon is away. Brandon's made up a place. Jetfish is up into fourth.
Yeah, Brandon got a bit squirrely through there on the curve.
I wonder if these hard tyres have just took a little bit of time to get up to speed. Volcano's dropped a few places.
Yeah, and he was having a bit of a battle with Glassy through there in the S's, but Glassy got past. So McLaren's looking in good positions here early on. Oh, and Glassy has a big moment out there.
So we're just trying to follow the general. Oh, we've got someone making a bit of a dive.
Yeah, Al on the inside, and then it's forced Higgsy round. And would you believe it, Spritzy? I don't think I've seen that this season. An Aston Martin and a Mercedes fighting in Premier Division.
No, it's not possible. You're wrong, Jones. You've got it completely wrong. There's no way that Aston Martin and Mercedes. Oh, we've got a Haas. Just absolutely. I think it's a Haas. Just totally. Oh no, it's an Alfa Romeo. Sorry, the two Alfa Romeos of Westy and Shaq having Backer's sat back. Oh no, there's no pun intended there. He's actually sat back, and I think he's going to let this race come to him. He doesn't want damage, so And Entity is also at the back. So,
I think Backer usually he seems to get
Brandon
involved
on the
with something.
inside of Brian. Oh,
and that's a very opportunistic move through there on the last corner.
Yeah,
but
Brian's got the drive. He's got the drive, and maybe he's got slightly lower wings. Oh,
goes around the outside. Brandon gets it tucked in.
He does.
It's going to be tight. Brian's he's too far back, but the Mercedes are having a look now. They fancy a bit of this action. And Glassy must have got passed by Al there. I didn't see that. But the Mercedes right on the back of this now. And this constructors fight is kicking off. It's good to see the Mercedes and McLaren's up there.
It is Al's made a mistake.
Al at the moment.
Glassy's gone through. Glassy's gone through. Higgs is thinking about it.
Yeah,
come on, Higgsy, come on.
but Higgsy's got Volcano just 2 tenths.
He's got a volcano behind him just ready to erupt.
Oh, and here comes the Red Bull.
Oh, Spinella on the inside. Inside.
You can't be doing that to your sister team.
Oh, no. Spinola comes up the air. Spinola's going to have good pace.
Oh, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Maggot's just watching.
Volcano.
Watching. Volcano's back. He's back. Oh, no, Higgsy, we've got something going off in front as well.
Al's past Glassy and the Mercedes. It's all kicking off.
They're
getting close to the Red Bull of Brian. Jetfish is right behind him. It's all kicking off here.
Oh, and is that... no, Colin's gone. Colin has checked out. But we've got Brandon. We've got Brian. We've got Jetfish. This is probably the closest that Brian and Jetfish have been to Brandon. We've got a yellow in Sector 3. Looks like that's a Tauri. Is that a Tauri? I can't see the colour.
I think it's Backer in the Aston. Yeah, no, he's off. He's 3 seconds behind. He must have just had a half spin there or something, I think. So, fortunately, I don't think he's got damage, but he's going to have to get his head down now. And it is, I mean, essentially, Volcano's just a bit out of Higgsy's DRS at the moment, but if you actually look at the gaps, from Brandon down to 19th, you're going to have a DRS straight.
Yeah, absolutely. We've only got one gap that's just slightly, and actually now Volcano's just corrected that for us. Oh, we've got one off! We've got one off, and it's Glassy now! It's Glassy now!
Yeah, and that's huge for the constructors.
And we've got a safety car.
And Shaq spun as well. So Backer makes up 3 places there. And now this is why I think it's come too early for everyone. But say this had been 2 laps later, I think that's why it's good.
You're right,
good to start on the mediums.
Let's get the tyres.
It's too early for
everyone. What are they going to do? Full safety car. Do you know what? I'll tell you what. This racing is so close between these guys, and that Sector 1 S's. There is no space to overtake, even if someone else gets it wrong. There's just not the space to overtake, and they've clearly gone side by side through there. Glassy and Al, it's all going to be kicking off. Higgsy the beneficiary on those mediums. The hard driver's probably going to stay out. I don't think anyone's going to pit on lap 3. Got to be honest, unless they've got damage. Oh, no. What do I know? What do I know? A Jetfish dives in the pit.
Higgsy, but they're on the mediums, so they can do something different. The hard runners absolutely cannot pit. Like we said, ideally you want to be getting those mediums. You want to be at least, I don't know, lap 8 if there was a safety car, so you can. It's much more doable.
Yeah, but from lap 4 with 3 laps under the safety car to lap 7. 19 laps on the hards is obviously the tyres are going to last, but it's much slower. Well, not much slower, but a little bit slower. So,
but you mitigate 20 seconds in a pit lane. I'm surprised it was those 2 in the position they were in that rolled the dice, and it wasn't someone maybe in a 7th, 8th, or 9th position. But maybe they got a bit of damage because they were around the incident of Glassy and Al when it happened. So. You never know what happened there.
Well, we could have looked.
I didn't see it myself.
We could have looked on the Taz, forgetting that we've got Taz. So we've got Maggot with some. No. Now I understand. The Taz is not giving us any damage at all. It's only giving us tyre wear for Maggot. So we are like Maggot's personal engineers.
So essentially, Maggot is our data point for everything here. If he changes tyre strategies or moves to soft.
Well, Maggot. So they've done 3 laps, and Maggot has, according to the TAS, has got 12% tyre wear. So that's a little bit higher than I would have expected, I have to say. Yeah.
And obviously this could come down to differences in setups, but I mean, it's looking like a hot day there in Texas at the moment, so maybe those tyres are struggling a little bit.
It could be difference in setup, but also I think from what I've read this week that USA is definitely also susceptible to the tyre pressures, not just the setup. As we've got,
right, okay.
I've got a little bit of jumping going on. I hope that's not my connection. But yeah, we've got a few. Looks like I've got a little bit of jumping and lagging going on. I don't know what you've got on yours. We've got Cosmo. So we've got in the chat. Sorry, we've missed it for a little while. So we've got Richard joining us. Go Ferrari and Quinn. We've got Cosmo joining us after having corners named after him. So all hail RPM Cosmo. Very nice to see you in the chat. Hola, as he would say.
It's perfect timing as well. They go through the Cosmo S's here.
Cosmo S's, Cosmo Hairpin or Cosmo Corner?
There's quite a few of them, isn't there?
In fact, we should just rename Circuit of the Americas to Circuit of the Cosmo.
Yeah, I'm not sure the C stands for circuit. It must be a Cosmo at the start of it, and then
Cosmo of the Americas. Cosmo of the Americas. There we go. Perfect. So we've got Al joining us in the chat saying that was a shambles. Cosmo is asking which one is my corner. Well, apparently, according to Jones,
18.
according to Jones, Cosmo, all of them. So you now own this circuit, my friend. Anyway, back to the action. Yeah, I don't know. Strategy-wise, I'd say Sminotla's looking in a good place. But like you say, the first person that's pitted is Jetfish. What is Sminotla doing there? He's going on the grass. Yeah, so the first person that's pitted is Jetfish, but he's down in 15th. So, I mean, by the time the safety car comes in and this like pack unfold, that's going to be a tough ask, isn't it? Safety car is in this lap. We just got the message.
Yes, they're going to have 22 laps of racing, and you've got Jetfish, Higgsy, Entity, and Shaq trying to take those hards 22 laps.
Unless they're thinking, you know what, there's probably going to be another safety car.
The problem is, if there's an early safety car around 10, you've used your hards up already, which is what they've all done there.
I wonder if, like Brandon's had to work his way through a little bit to get on the back of Colin. I wonder if Brandon's now going to be a bit closer to Colin than he was before. Obviously, Brandon with the one AirPod in will be listening to this.
Yeah, and just a shout out, Evil Master up 10 places here. So he's had a good go at it.
Come on,
Brian
Evil. Put a good performance
Brian gets so close to Brandon there, but Brandon has not been caught sleeping at all by Colin, but Colin...
Not at all, mate, not at all.
Also, they're both using a bit of ERS here, so a little bit of games off the start already. And let's see how this one unfolds. Brandon seems to have a really good turn one there. He's right on the back of Colin going through the S's here. Colin looks to be taking a bit more of a defensive line. And I think this is sometimes... Oh, and as we mentioned, Evil Master, that's Curse of the Commentator, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think Brandon will also be thinking as well, with Colin and how strong his pace is throughout the race, you've got to try and get it done as early as you can if you're going to make that move.
We've got Cosmo in the chat saying that in his opinion the next DNF will be Evil Master. That's pretty harsh, to be fair. There's no need for that, Cosmo. If that's your predictions, we don't want them.
Yeah, and talking of predictions, Davey up in 6th had a nice start, up 4 places. Same with Sminotla in front of him, up well, he's up 3 places.
Oh, we've got a little
Maggot
bit
up
of a
four.
battle. Little bit of a battle with Smonotter and Volcano here, actually. Let's go downfield a little bit. So we've got the brothers Van der Melden giving it a little bit. So we've got Luke in 10th, and we've got Quinn. Oh, Quinn's just dropped off the back a little bit there after that safety car restart. So we've got Luke on the hards. Quinn stayed out on those mediums. Colin sets the fastest lap. So yeah, I mean, these mediums I think are going to start giving way about 10 laps. Westy's up.
Yeah, I think
Westy's up to 12. Good. Still got those bragging rights.
Yeah, I think it's 12 to 14 in mediums, or that's like the window for pitting.
Yeah, Jetfish is now sat behind Westy. So what does he do? Does he wait? I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. So let's have a look at the gap to leader. So Jetfish is only 10.1 seconds behind Colin. So does he? I mean, he won't be able to see this, of course, because he doesn't get the gap to leader while you're driving. Does he wait and hang fire, or does he try and push his way through? I think DRS will be activated next lap.
Yeah, well, obviously that's the thing. He's 10.1 seconds behind, but we've only been racing for a lap and a half.
Yeah, but
And
it's going to be like that for the first lap, because you can't actually, when you go over
no,
the
you can't
line,
get past.
when you go over the line on a safety car restart, the gaps are already there, because obviously you all can't go over.
Yeah.
So there's already a set number of gaps. But I mean, if what Colin was saying in seniors, if the pit stop time is 30 seconds, Jetfish is going to have a 20-second lead on Colin. But Colin is on the hards.
Yeah, and Jetfish is, there's an element of tyre management coming into this. As he pitted so early, he can't kill those tyres too early, can he? He's got to look after them
Colin
a little
will be on the mediums, but I mean, we're just trying to make this interesting.
I mean, sorry.
Yes,
for
don't squash my bubble, James. Come on. Oh, it's Westy. Westy has a bit of a. Westy have a bit of look at Quinn. Ooh.
And Jetfish going around the outside of Westy now in the S's.
He's done. He's passed. That could be.
And that's.
No, I mean, trying to
make it
more exciting. That could be massive. That could be massive.
Because he's now got 4 seconds of free, fresh air in front of him to catch up, and then he'll be hoping he can slowly pick those guys off in front. Yeah, the other guys haven't quite managed to get through the field the way he has. Higgsy, Shaq, and Entity all a little bit stuck down in 16th, 17th, and 18th. The other guys to pit.
If Jetfish can get into his rhythm now, he can see the cars in front of him. Like you say, they're 4 seconds ahead, but when you can see the car in front, that definitely changes things, because you're measuring out the time gap just in terms of, if he can get on the back of that little group of Luke and Andrew and Evil Master, who knows? Who knows? Well, we'll come back to that a bit later. So we've got, so Brandon's just dropped off the back, and my prediction in this case turns out to be semi-correct, is that he has managed to keep up with Colin more than on the original start.
Yeah, and he's gapped Brian this time, hasn't he? Which he hadn't managed to do on the last, when we went racing at the start. As Backer is past Giraffe up into 13th behind Westy now. We've got Smonotter close behind Volcano, and Volcano close behind Brian as well. There's quite a few little tasty battles coming on.
So are you suggesting that Backer's just kind of woke up as Westy goes wide?
Potentially, yeah, he might have had a late coffee.
Late coffee whilst under the safety car, and all of a sudden he's found his rhythm, found his pace. He's chasing the guy. Oh, Westy's going to let him through, is he? No. Oh, I like it, Westy. Keep it there. No, Westy goes wide. He's run a bit wide. Backer goes wide. Ooh,
and Entity's, when it's that Entity, Giraffe's through. Yeah, and he's now got a bit of fresh air to go after Jetfish.
Here's another driver that we've not spoke about for a bit, is Higgsy. So, I mean, Higgsy was right up there, wasn't he? So Higgsy is the second driver that's pitted, but look at the gap that Jetfish has managed to pull on Higgsy now.
And he got caught, didn't he? He's got caught more in the traffic than Jetfish, and he's under pressure from Shaq here. Shaq on the late brakes.
Oh!
That's not what Higgsy needs.
Woohoo!
Nearly goes into the back of a Giraffe there. Quinn gets past Westy. We've got Entity and now having a look at this. So it's really tight at the back here. There's some great racing going on. We've also got Evil Master right on the back of Maggot, but he's in an Alpine sandwich. But they're not far behind Volcano, Davey and Sminotler, as Andrew makes a bit of contact with Evil Master. And now Luke's getting interested in this battle.
Yeah, it's looking really good all the way through the field. We'll try and keep up to date with all the gaps and all the battles. We've got Mrs. Bold joining us in the chat, so a very good evening to you. Just to let you know that I did manage to do some ironing last week, and I managed to finish the ironing in a time of 26 seconds. So if Colin can beat that, I'll be delighted to take on that challenge. Certainly can't beat him on track, but I'm sure I can beat him on the ironing board. That's about the only chance I stand. Oh, Backer picks up a 3-second penalty. Oh, Cornelius Dookie Backer. What is going on there? Maggot's having a great race. Great race in 7th.
Yeah, it was a shame for him because he looked like he had the pace in qualifying, got his provisional lap in, and then obviously binned it somewhere on his second lap. And we got Davey through on Sminotler. Round the outside. Oh, and Sminotler's coming back at him.
We've caught it. We're on board with Volcano, just watching it unfold. So just talking about Davey and Volcano, in your opinion, Jones, what do you think to their introduction to RPM?
Well, they're doing very well, aren't they? And having some good clean battles as well. It was looking a bit dicey, but I mean, they both got really good pace.
Yeah, they joined us in seniors. Finished the season in PSGL and said they really loved it in RPM, and they were actually wanting to be with us. Oh, we got yellow in Sector 3.
And that's Higgsy.
It's Higgsy. Unexpected.
Yeah. And that's at the Cosmo corner, the original Cosmo corner.
Cosmo 1 or Cosmo 7?
Cosmo 1.
Cosmo 1 or Cosmo 7, because you know that we've got plenty.
Absolutely. Hopefully he can keep
West
it together in the Cosmo S's.
West is in. Higgsy has stayed out on the hards. He's waiting for a safety car now. Let's have a look up front. So we've got Colin. 2.2 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, so it's only increasing a little bit. Davey has a bit of a moment after the S's, but he kept it together really well. Really good car control. Yeah, he's losing about a tenth or 2 tenths a lap to Colin, but he's sticking with him. And
Davey's going to make a move here. Davey's going to make it. Ooh, a little bit of a shimmy from Sminotler. Didn't work.
And it's round 2 with these two down here, but he should have that done. But Sminotler late on the brakes. Will he make him work for it? He's coming back at him, and he's going to go down the inside of the next corner. That's brave. They keep it clean, keep giving each other some room, and now he's going to go on into the next corner.
Davey's got the inside. Sminotler's going to have the drive through Cosmo 7. Oh!
He's lost it.
Sminotler spun. Oh, in Cosmo 5. Unbelievable. Davey has escaped. Woo!
Yeah, and now Volcano's going to be coming with Davey up towards the podium positions. Got Maggot right behind, and Evil Master pitting.
Yeah, we've got Evil Master's having a great race.
So you wonder if Evil Master there
picks up another penalty.
Evil Master there is an interesting one because he was in a little bit of a train there. Whether he's just thinking I get a bit of free air and pump in some laps and get the undercut done.
Got yellow.
So that's the other thing that comes into play. And that's Backer again. The nightmare continues, and I think that's what and he's reversed into the barrier, so that's some rear wing damage, I reckon. And it's not been a good night for Aston Martin so far. Chapter 15 of the Backer book.
Thanks, Jones. I tried not to read chapter 15. On my induction to Aston Martin, there was a clear instruction: do not read chapter 15. You've just brought it up now.
Chapter 15, titled "Dark Clouds Over Cosmo of the Americas."
Oh my word, my word, my word. Oh, as Backer must have cooked those tyres. They must be about 9 million degrees. You could fry an egg on them. Oh my word. Let's get back to some action. So we got Luke.
Yeah, and he's right on the back of the two Alpines now, isn't he?
Yeah,
and he's gone about his business quietly again, Luke. This seems to be his MO for this season. And
Jones, I've got to bring it up. I've got to bring it up, Jones. Jetfish in ninth just seems to be slowly creeping up that gap. He's now.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Volcano.
He goes to seventh. He goes to seventh. Now I don't know. We can't see on the tabs. I'm going to try again, but just to see. But I'm sure it doesn't tell me. No.
And interestingly, 17 seconds to the leader. Collins on those hards, so he'll be pitting more like, what do we reckon? Lap 8? No, probably lap 16? Maybe a bit later. Lap 18?
I don't know. Colin might even go for the softs. It depends.
That's
I guess it depends. Yeah, I guess it depends how the hards are wearing. Oh, we've got a little bit of a Andrew's having a good race as well. Look at the Alpines, 4th and 5th. Maggot's up to 4th.
Yeah, and they're going well. And obviously we saw Davey and Volcano pit. Higgsy's got in between that battle and Evil Master, but that came at the perfect time for Jetfish as he was gaining on this group of people. To have two of them pit in front of him just helps him out even more. It seems to be falling his way at the moment.
Yeah, and look at Shaq. Shaq in 9th. He's already pitted. He's not too far behind. He's only 6 seconds, maybe 7 seconds behind Jetfish.
Oh, it's getting very, very interesting now.
When these guys pit from the top 6, and Sminotler, everything's going to change. What would make it really interesting now is if there's a safety car between, I think, probably the next lap and the next 3 laps. All of these runners on the hards are going to be absolutely quids in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And and what I'm wondering now is, we know how good a team player Luke is. Colin could do with him really slowing Jetfish down here, because the progress has, like you said, been pretty unreal behind, with all this traffic.
Yeah, I don't think Jetfish is going to make it back through all the way to the front, because obviously these guys are going to come out on the mediums, so they're going to be absolutely rapid. I think that Jetfish is battling, my own personal opinion, I think he's battling, well, first of all, he's taking Luke now, but I think he's battling with Brian for 3rd place.
Yeah, well, he's 10 seconds behind Brian, so effectively he'd have 20 seconds. I mean, now would be interesting to know about those hard tyres. Have we got tacit information on Maggot's tyres at 13 laps?
We do indeed. I'll just transport myself to be Natalie Pinkham for a minute on the Sky Patch.
Get on your Sky Patch.
44% is Maggot's tyres.
And that's halfway through the race over halfway through the race.
Yeah, so those hards are going to continue on. So, I mean, if Jetfish has done a few laps less, we've got Daniel joining us in the chat saying Jetfish can get a podium if he pushes. I couldn't agree more. I don't think he even needs to push, if I'm honest. I think we've got Cosmo saying that Ivert is banned from the Cosmo Circuit COTA Americas. Yeah. I think
well,
Cosmo's
I've
taking
done
this
some
a bit
quick
too
maths
far.
here. I've done some quick maths here on the information you've provided there, and I think the hards are wearing by about 3% a lap here. So if Maggot is on 44 and Jetfish is on 3 lap younger tyres, he's going to be around 30 odd % at the moment.
Got yellow in sector 3.
And that's an Aston Martin. I think that could be back at. He's
spun at Cosmo 7.
And now we might need to call that Backer 1. I tell you what, Backer's making a claim for a few corners tonight, isn't he? I think maybe he wants to have his name on this track.
No, sorry, can't be done. It's now. patented Cosmo of the Americas. That's the official name. Yeah, so unlucky for Backer there. Quinn's down in 16th, so Quinn must have had a bit of an incident.
He did also pit recently. Oh, and Andrew's pitting, first of the Alpines to pit. So
yellow,
probably
Backer's
next
out. Backer's out. Has he retired? Has he or?
He's dropped it.
Safety car.
Colin's coming up to him.
Safety car. This has absolutely ruined Jetfish's race. Completely ruined Jetfish's challenge.
I tell you what, Andrew hit him when he did. The safety car must have come out about 2 seconds after he went into the pit lane.
Yeah, but the delta time cancels all that out in this game. That's what's unfortunate, because you can't gain or lose under the delta. It's like super accurate. Andrew's now going. We'll see. We've got
Andrew out in 9th on the mediums. He's going to have 7 cars pitting in front of him. Yeah, he is going to be too far back, but
the delta time ruins this, because I don't think it's representative of the real safety car.
What would have been exciting if one of the guys behind Colin was about 20 seconds behind.
If
as
anybody,
that safety car came out and they could have got straight into the pits.
If anybody knows in the chat what is the official F1 rule under the safety car, because I'm pretty sure when the safety car comes out they don't operate this delta time like we do in the game. So we've got Glassy saying another week, another disappointment. Don't worry, Glassy, it happens to us all, mate. And we've got
it happens
69
to me every week.
We've got 69girls.xyz saying free girls in U City. Okay, so thanks very much for that, for spamming our chat. If you can spell the word your, then we may respond to you. But until then, goodbye. We've got Delta Times ruin all the races. We've got Backer doing his job of deleting all the spam from the bots in the chat. Although I don't believe he's
also
really
saying horrible.
Yeah, I don't believe he's really deleted them. I think he's like saving the URLs for himself. But anyway, that's another story. Here we go. Andrew has jumped Jetfish.
He's jumped a few people, yeah.
Jetfish has gone back onto those mediums of 3 laps old.
And look at that, the Alpines do not want to be separated today, back in 5th and 6th.
So we got,
and Davey profited out of that nicely, but he is on hard. So, like, out of the top 7 runners, he is at the disadvantage.
I think who this is helping most is Brandon, because it's keeping him on the coattails of Colin. One small mistake and he's still there. We've got Brian, because Brian had been gapped significantly. Davey's not going to pose a threat on those hards, I don't think. Maggot, who's having a cracking race with his teammate right behind him. We've got Glassy in the chat saying 40% speed, is it not? Yeah, I think the VSC is 40% speed, but when it's a full course safety car in real life, I don't know. I'm asking the question of the chat. I don't know what actually happens.
Just looking at the chat as well, absolutely loving Daniel's interpretation of the weird comments we were getting. Free safety car in your race. There is a free safety car in our area.
Yeah.
It's going through Cosmo corners as we speak.
We've got Cosmo Cosmo in the chat trying to bring up Steward's request. That's now closed for senior division, so don't even worry, Cosmo. You can't bring up that with IJ, no problem. Dealt with. I'm loving.
Confirms he had rear wing damage as well. Sorry to interrupt you there. And you are loving.
I'm loving the Alpines tonight. I am loving the Alpines tonight.
Yeah, they've gone really well tonight. It's really good to see, and they can't be separated on track. I feel like they just followed each other through the whole way. Kept out of trouble. Raced really well.
Yeah, so far they're my team of the evening. That's a new award that we've decided. Just for tonight, Team of the Evening award.
Giraffe out.
What?
Is he retired in the pit lane?
No. Has he?
Where is he?
He has.
Trying to figure out. Yeah. Seems strange. All to play for, all under a safety car.
Yeah, very strange. Very, very, very strange. So, we've got 10 laps to go.
And we've got Sminotler on the softs back in 15th. We've also got Westy. His are a bit older. He pitted before the safety car, I think, or maybe just as the safety car came out. I'd be interested to see what Sminotler can do through there. He's going to be absolutely flying.
Well, I'm going to be relying on your camera direction, James, on this restart, because after the last one, I think we both got a bit overexcited.
Yeah, and that safety car in our area now going down the straight here. Could be the back of straight, because I think he's spun on this.
Davey's going to be struggling here because he's on the, not only is he on the hards, but he's also on 5-lap-old hards.
Yeah, he's definitely not in the most ideal situation out of these front runners, and the Alpines would be looking to get past him as quickly as possible. But he's not going to make it easy. He's very, very quick, as we've seen already. And
safety car in this lap. That's Bert Mylander just letting us know that the safety car is in this lap.
And that's a new feature we've got here.
Oh,
safety car radio.
I've got the I've added it into the plug into the game tonight. So me and Bert, we're like best mates.
And the question is, when will Colin go? He left it very, very late on the last safety car restart. Will Brandon be fully awake? He's certainly right behind him, very Max Verstappen-esque.
We've got, Brandon. I think Brandon did really well last time because it's always hard in second. So, is he? Yeah, he's off. He's off. Colin's gone. There's no going back. Oh, Brian's just dropped off the back of it. Oh, and Davy's dropped off. That must be those hards. Where are the Alpines? Andrew's driving. Oh, Andrew, what are you doing there? Stopped off for a coffee. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, Maggot, we've got a yellow in sector 3. Oh, Quinn's out. Quinn is out.
Yeah.
If this is another safety car.
Oh, Brandon, 3-second penalty.
Oh.
And that could be massive as well, because that could leave him in danger of the guys behind. And obviously he's trying to keep this alive to the last few races with Colin in the title fight.
That could be game changing. As Maggot is looking on the inside of Davey. Maggot is definitely the flying Irishman. Absolutely fantastic.
Higgsy's round. And the Aston Martin absolute disaster continues.
All right, Jones, calm down. Keep rubbing it in.
It's because I've got my McLaren up in second. I'm well chuffed.
Maggot is through.
Yeah, and can he now get back? Could we see an Alpine on the podium here? That would be great from the way they've been racing.
It would be awesome. Absolutely awesome. I think Andrew's not going to be far behind. I think he fell asleep on that safety car, and I don't mind saying that because I know.
Oh no, Maggot! 3-second penalty.
Oh, Evil Master 3-second penalty. What's going on? It's raining penalties. Andrew, Colin sets the fastest lap. Oh,
and here comes Andrew.
Oh,
Evil Master's out.
Retired. He's out.
Oh, he's in a pit lane. In a pit lane, is he? Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's got some studying to do.
Yeah, and Brandon's still right behind Colin here, half a second at the moment. The gap's behind, apart from Jetfish Jetfish is through on Davey. But this is Brandon's still sticking with him.
Got yellow in
similar
sector 1.
ERS. Can't see who that is at the moment.
Seems like we've got Cosmo inviting a lot of his friends into the chat, and then Backer's deleted them. So yeah, Cosmo, stop it.
And Sminotler up into 10th on those soft tyres. Can he make some more inroads into this race?
They're going to wear down though. I mean, he's done 2 laps.
Oh yeah.
8 laps to go. We've got another yellow. Through the S's. Looks to be gone.
It must have been Evil Master's car, I think. And Entity threw on Volcano, but Volcano fighting back as well. Entity seems to have got that done. Westy having a look now.
So Entities took the bragging rights of the party.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm guessing they've got backer engineering for them now.
Yeah, that could be disastrous, as we all know. As we got Shaq coming through.
Brandon actually
7.
gained on Colin. Sorry to interrupt you there. Brandon gained on Colin 2 temps in that last sector. I know he's got the 3-second penalty, which is going to hurt him. But he might be interested to see if he can get it done on track.
Will he push for a win on track though, or knowing he's got a 3-second penalty, or do you think he'd just sit behind? All he's trying to do, presumably, is get 3 seconds to Brian, because he's never going to.
Which he's very close on, but you never know. Like, I mean, if you get past and Colin, I mean, it'd be very uncharacteristic of Colin. But if Colin makes a mistake, or you never know, again, if Colin picks up a penalty, which I don't think I've ever seen.
No, you're absolutely right. He could do. We've got Backer saying in the chat.
Brian has a huge moment on the straight. Some maggot's going to be right on the back of him soon. Sorry?
We've got Backer in the chat saying he's helped Jones to engineer a podium. Part of your legendary career. Well.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it legendary. I think we might have built the podium as in engineered it. I don't know. I don't really get many podiums. He is a great engineer, though. Fair play to him. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, coffee and cigarettes, masterclass.
Yeah, Brandon's still right on the back of Colin here as well. And Maggott, yeah,
Maggot's
gaining on Brian.
Yeah, I think that 3 second is what's gonna hinder him. As Brandon has got the DRS, Colin's not gonna push now because he can see that 3 seconds. Colin will want to win it on track though, that's for definite.
Yeah,
Westy, another 3-second penalty.
But it is, going into the last few races, if he can win it on track, okay, he loses it on the 3 seconds, might just give him a bit of confidence going into those last few races.
The person that's going to be most disappointed with that safety car is going to be Jetfish. Down in 6th.
Oh yeah, because he was looking like he might have nailed it on the strategy.
Yeah, and also he's had to put used mediums on. So he came out on those mediums that he started on. So a bit of damage limitation for Jetfish.
Yeah, with Al being out, with Mercedes leading the constructors, seeing the Ferrari and McLarens at the front,
yeah, looking good for Ferrari.
Yeah, there's going to be some change in the well, maybe not change, but it's going to get really tight in the constructors going into the last few races now.
So great to see so many people joining us in the live stream. We've got 16 people at the moment, Jones, which is, I think, one of the records I can remember for Premier Division. So awesome. Anybody got any comments? Just fire them in, and me and Jones will either read them out or disagree or agree, or just if it's Cosmo, let us know which corner you would like us to name next after your next incident. Luke's coming good. Luke's coming good here as well. Look, in 7th. Luke is just starting to climb on the back of Jetfish, and Luke's tyres are 3 laps younger than Jetfish's. Is that going to come into play? Is that going to come into play?
And that could do even more damage to the Mercedes constructors bid. And Colin, now it's almost like it's been a bit of cat and mouse. He's just pulled 3 attempts out of Brandon in the first set. Brandon has a huge moment. What a save that is.
What about ERS? So Brandon's got 22, Colin's got 56. Colin's got this.
Yeah, he's very good at his management of the race, isn't he? Not only has he got great pace, he manages everything very well.
Cosmo's just made a really good point in the chat, actually. Cosmo's just said that he thinks that he should join this division so that Colin finally has a strong opponent. That is a really, really, really good point, Cosmo, and something that we'll definitely take into consideration for season 64. So thank you
Yeah,
for
I'm
that.
considering. Is he referring to the strong opponent being Bert Mylander out when he ends up in the wall?
Yeah, we'll think about that,
I
Cosmo,
couldn't. I
in about
couldn't help
19 years.
myself. Oh dear. Cosmo's a super quick driver, but he has a lot of corners named after him. That's for sure. Brandon still within that window, but he doesn't have the pace in DRS to get past. So they either won it running. Well, I guess Colin's running a little less wing than Brandon.
Luke's closing. Luke is closing. He's down to 0.8 tenths. He's down to 0.8 tenths, and not only that, he's come from about 1.8 behind, and his tyres seem to be performing better. So that's going to be one for us to keep our eye on. Probably one of the closest battles on track, to be honest. And probably one of the most important, given the constructors, because Jetfish is flying solo since Alan Glassy came together and tangled. He's going to get DRS. I don't know if he's going to be close enough. Might depend on his setup, of course. Let's have a look.
Yeah, and we've got Higgsy also pitting onto soft tyres, so maybe he's going for the fastest lap to steal that away. Brandon just 3 tenths behind Colin now. It's getting super close up front.
I think Carlos Sainz is going to be a bit worried if he knows Ferrari are watching this with Luke's performance tonight.
Yeah, and I tell you what though, up front on track, Colin is being made to work for it, but the pace of these two at the front, the championship contenders, is incredible. They've dropped Brian by 6.4 seconds.
Yeah, both of them have been amazing. Oh, we've got yellow in sector
yellow
3.
flag. I can't
Staying
see
on
what
board
that
with
is.
Luke. I'm staying on board with Luke. This was Backer says I'm putting extra pressure on Luke by being on comms. That's not the case. We're just trying to follow the race. Luke's having an absolute storming run, and Westy has retired in sector 3. Looks like a spin. Is that going to be? It can't be a safety car because we're probably too close. Could have been a safety car. So Luke is a lot closer this time. He is probably got yellow in sector 1 as well. That might be Westy's car coming out. Luke's going to get the DRS. Jetfish goes to defend. Luke moves to get the slipstream, gets the DRS. 12% ERS. Luke's got the momentum. Is he going to go past? He's going to have a look round the outside. Late break from Luke. Jetfish defends. Oh! Pushes him onto the paintwork in Cosmo 9. What is going on there?
Yeah, we got yellows in sector. Oh, I think that must be Westy's car. Yeah, it's getting quite feisty now. Jetfish desperate to keep hold of those constructors, well, and drivers' points, because I think he's third in the championship, but I think he's got a big gap, to be fair.
I think, Luke. Luke's definitely got a little bit more grip.
Oh, he's flying, isn't he, Luke? He's driving so well.
He's got a bit more grip. I think it's just a case of drive. Maybe the setups are different between Luke and Jetfish, but this is the closest battle we've got. But yellow in sector 3.
And I think that might be Sminotla. It is Sminotla on those softs.
They've given up after 7 laps, yeah. So Brandon, I mean, as it turns out, Brandon didn't have to worry about gapping Brian by 3 seconds because Colin and Brandon have actually gapped Brian by 7.4. And as we all know, Brian is no slow driver. So that just tells you how good Colin and Brandon have been. Luke, is he going to get... Let's have a quick look at Jetfish. ERS, 14, 13, 12. Luke...
But we do know that the Mercedes usually run lower wing anyway, don't they? So they're so quick in a straight line.
What do you do here, Jones? What do you do here? Does Luke have a dive? I mean, if they're similar pace, slightly better tyre wear, what do you do? Does Luke have a dive, or what do you,
I wouldn't use my ERS. I'd just stay with him and try and get it done on the last lap. Hope the tyres go off even more.
Yeah, but
I think
will Luke know though that Jetfish's tyres have done?
That's
like
very true. He won't, will he?
He won't, because you can't see that when you're driving, can you?
There's one person that would know, and that would be Brandon, listening in on his AirPod. But Luke definitely will not be on it.
And Brandon's not dropped out of DRS, so I've not given up on that yet. Oh, here we go, we go. It's going, it's going. Inside. Oh,
he's
he cuts it wide, returns the favour.
But Jetfish has got back on.
Oh, Luke's going to be a bit fiery now. Oh, no, and he picks up a 3-second penalty. Oh, and the crowd goes silent. Oh, what can we say?
And Brandon, he was within 3/10 of Colin for about 6 laps, but he's dropped back now. I think that one's done, but he'll get those second place points. I didn't see Higgsy's managed to do the fastest lap. Entity's put fresh tyres on, so he's going for the fastest lap now. But can Luke get the 3-second gap here?
In my opinion, no.
But he's got to have a mega last lap, or hope Jetfish's tyres drop off the cliff. Oh, Brandon, another penalty.
Another 3 seconds, but that's what I was saying. He's got such a gap to Brian as we have a look at the penalties now.
Yeah, he's going to be cleared by 3 seconds.
Yeah, he knew he could push. He knew he could push. So he's going to just take that second place, another second place and a podium.
But Luke has dropped Jetfish by 7/10 now in that last sector. He needs more sectors like that, and he might be able to hold on to this.
Yeah, 1 lap to go. Jetfish's tyres clearly have started to give way. So
yellow in sector 2, that might be Higgsy.
You say that as though it's almost like a foregone conclusion.
I said it because I could see it on the track map. I know that's your kryptonite after tonight.
It is, mate, yeah. It totally is, yeah. I hate it. I'm like, yeah, there's yellow in sector 3 and it looks like a blue, purple, red, green dot. Yeah. Let's jump on board with these leaders. Let's jump on board with these leaders.
I'll keep you updated on the gap for Luke.
From these two. So we've got RPM Colin looking to take another win, another faultless race. We've got a pole position. I don't know about fastest lap because we can't see that. Looks like it's Collins. Yeah, it does look like it's Collins. So absolute credit where credit's due. The GOAT of the Premier Division is going to take another win, and it's a win for Ferrari and RPM Colin. Brandon in second. Brian is going to cross the line in third. Brian will be pleased with that tonight because he's had a few kind of hit and miss. We've got Maggot coming through in fourth, my team of the day, Alpine. Andrew in fifth, great drive from him. Luke's going to come through in sixth. He does have that penalty. Jetfish did drop to 1.8, but he's going to jump back up. Davey in eighth. Shaq reserving tonight in ninth. Volcano coming through in 10th. Entity, bragging rights from the party chat.
And Entity might have the fastest lap here.
Really?
He's pushing for it. Yeah, he's absolutely flying through the first two sectors.
Oh!
He's using
don't worry about it.
He's using all of the runoff. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, Entity. Go for it.
And he misses out on it.
He gets in 11th. Minotla is going to get
Wasn't
12th.
for the lack of trying, though. Because I liked his line through that corner. I might try that. Use all the runoff. Very nice.
Try it next season.
And Minotla, and I like that. That's some real showmanship across the line.
And our last
here comes
finisher, Iggsy, scoring points for Aston Martin. So, good race. Really good race. Lovely to be back on Premier in comms. Driver of the day, RPM Shaq. Not sure I agree with that, Shaq. Sorry to say. I think team of the day would have to be the Alpines with Maggot and Andrew, but that's personal opinion. We've got Shaq asking if we are going to do interviews. If Jones is good for a few minutes, we might invite the AirPod Master and Colin just to see what they've got to say. I know that Brian won't join us, that's for sure. But if you want to invite him, Jones, we can do a couple of minutes if you want. As Jones has left the party, so it looks like we've got a disconnection. So that won't be happening. So Jones has joined the party.
Sorry. I was trying to invite and join someone else's party. Let's see what I can do.
Right, I'll go through the results. So we got Colin in first, Brandon second, Brian third, Maggot fourth, Andrew fifth, Jetfish sixth, Luke seventh, Davey in eighth, Shaq in ninth, Volcano in 10th, Entity in 11th, Spinotler in 12th, and your final finisher, 13th Higgsy. Your non-finishers for this evening: Westy reserving in the Alfa Romeo, Evil Master in the Haas. We've got Quinn in the Alfa Tauri, Giraffe in the Williams, Backer in the Aston Martin, Glassy in 19th in the McLaren, another non-finisher, and Al as well. So that is the results for the evening. I understand that the master that is Jones has done some inviting into the party. So let's have a quick look to see who we've got first. And I do believe we've got our race winner, RPM Colin. Are you there, sir?
Good evening, Spritzy.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
What about that race? Tell us about it. How was it for you?
Horrible. Hate that track. I'm just glad it's over with. And the track limits here, I was panicking the whole race.
Well, it didn't look like you hated it. I've got to be honest.
You should have seen me in practice then.
How much practice have you put in for this week's race? A little bit more than normal, or same as normal?
Yes, because I've never raced here. This is my first time on this game racing around this track. So I had to do a few more runs than normal.
So what about choosing the hards at the start? What made you choose the hards and not the mediums?
It was working out that I knew the hards would only do 20 laps maximum. So even if there was an early safety car, people in the mediums were going to have to pit again anyway, even if they took the gamble to go into the hards. So I might as well just start on them and then wait for the mediums at the end.
Well, it did. It definitely worked out for you. That safety car was looking perfect timing. Jetfish was on a bit of a run after that early pit stop, and we didn't know how it was going to work out. But in the end, it worked out quite well. So, in second place, Brandon. I mean, Colin, you must feel the pressure a little bit from Brandon, because it just seems wherever you turn, there's a McLaren behind you.
He's one of the most underrated drivers in the league, honestly. I can't shake him off.
Well, that's good for us. That is really good for us.
It is. It's not for me.
No, well, yeah, but we know that you can handle it. So you could take the pressure. So, well, no, I mean, a cracking race. Every time the safety car came out, he seemed to be able to hang on sort of a little bit closer to you. But yeah, I mean, awesome race, mate. Absolutely awesome. And in the Drivers' Championship, just increasing your lead a little bit. So I guess the confidence is building a little bit now, is it?
Yes and no. It's not changed since I came back to racing. That one mistake and it's still open. I know if I make a mistake, Branter's going to be there, get the 40 points. So it really doesn't matter how much a point lead I've got in a minute. It can still do it.
Yeah, no, and that's what makes it really interesting, because I think both of you two guys know that one small mistake and it's going to change the championship. So, last question from me. So we've had a bit of banter in the chat tonight, and we've got someone called RPM Cosmo saying that he's going to join Premier to give you a run for your money. So my only question for you is, how worried are you on a scale of 1 to 10 about Cosmo joining Premier?
I quite like Cosmo and Premier because it gives me something to chase on the last few laps when I'm going to lap them.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Oh, well, brilliant, mate. Thanks very much, Colin, for joining us. I know it's not always
No
your
problem.
thing, but congratulations on the win, mate. And yeah, look forward to seeing you next week, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Well done, Colin.
Cheers,
Okay,
Jones.
so we've got our second place finisher, the single AirPod driver of Banter Brandon, also joining us. I'm going to let Jones do this interview. So off you go, sir.
Oh, this is my worst nightmare doing the questions. How did you find it today? Pretty intense.
Yeah, definitely try to chase down Colin. It's always intense. Yeah, it doesn't help when you get 6 seconds of penalties because yeah, I'm just crap at the track. But yeah, I mean I have to take a P2, and if I didn't have Colin to carry me round, I reckon I would have got P3.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you. I was on board with you guys in the last few laps. I think Spritzy was on board with Luke. You were within like 2-3 temps for like 3-4 laps there. Did you think you could get the move done, or just didn't have the low enough wings to get him
Yeah,
on straight?
no, Colin was running really low wing, so yeah, when I had DRS, I didn't even feel like I was gaining. It was useless. So yeah, I just thought I'd stick with him. I felt another pen coming, which it did come. So yeah, yeah, thanks for helping me pull away.
Yeah, well, you guys were just on an unreal pace at the end, pushing each other on. I think you gapped the guys behind by about 9 seconds. Yeah, and how did you find it actually starting up at the front today? I know the last 2 weeks you've had to fight your way through. How did that feel?
Yeah, no, it felt good. It wasn't the best of starts, but yeah, definitely better than starting at the back.
Yeah, and it can get really intense through there. I don't know if Spritzy's got any questions for you. He is
I have,
usually the
mate.
question master.
I've got one real serious question. Do you still race with one AirPod in?
I've actually reverted to leaving one of my headphones off.
Ah.
So now it's just come straight through the ear.
Does that mean you can't hear us now when we're on comms?
No, I can still hear you while hearing the game. Just no AirPod now.
Well, you see, I've got a bit of a theory here, and I'm going to put in a steward's ticket because I think that James is sending you secret messages throughout the race as part of Team McLaren. So, but anyway, that's my conspiracy theory, mate. You had a brilliant race, and every time each safety car came out, you seemed to be able to hang on to Colin a bit closer, and we both thought maybe there was a chance of you kind of keeping up with him and getting a bit of DRS at the end, but I think those penalties just sort of scuppered it a bit. So, but brilliant race, mate, absolutely brilliant. And the championship between you and Colin, I mean, it is unreal. One mistake from either of you, and it's all still to play for with 2 to go.
Yeah.
So best of luck, mate, and thank you for joining us for the chat. That's absolutely
cheers.
spot on, buddy. Thank you.
Cheers, boys.
Okay, so I think that is us, Jones. We are done for the stream tonight. Thank you for everybody joining us in the chat, especially to Cosmo for dedicating himself to 9 different corners on COTA. Any last words from you, Jones?
Thanks for having me, and yeah, enjoyed it. Crazy race again.
No, mate, thanks to you. Thanks for joining me. It's been absolutely great. We will be back next week. We are on round 13, the penultimate round. We're in, if I remember rightly, Mexico. So a bit of a strange track at Mexico. Some people love it, some people hate it. But yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday with the senior division. And I think Mr. Fretty, RPM Fretty, will be back on comms on Tuesday. So please feel free to tune in. Once again, thanks again, James, for joining us, and have a great evening. And we'll see you all soon.